This is the Rapid 106. It's a stapler I've picked up recently. And seriously, it scares the shit out of me. I mean, look. Oof. Okay, so with that done, I got this from work. Work had effectively shut down the facility that I was working at. 2 areas had been closed down. One of them I was working in at the time. This I pulled out of a bin. And to my surprise, yikes, this thing should have like a little table. This bit here holds it up, but the table's not there. So generally this has 2 processes. Now the first one, when I turn this off so I don't hurt myself, this is a trigger. So an example I can show you is if I move it in like that, close the lid, turn it on, wrong paper, take my booklet or whatever I want to staple, make sure I can fit it in there, triggers it to, well, staple. Now also, apparently, lifting this lid deactivates it, which you would hope, because the last thing you want is your finger to be in there. You know, get it in there and ouch, hospital trip. So one method of stapling booklets with this is to jam it in like that. Now another method, you'd have a table here. And what you do is you'd rest your booklet on the table and then trigger it. But how do you trigger it? Well, turns out there's a foot pedal, this thing. And I pulled this out of the bin as well. And this is the point where I had to do that to it. So that's a new port. Now I'm going to pause this bit now, and then I'm going to show you how I went about fixing this, and you should see how broken it was. Okay, so I'll be posting this in another video, and the audio is going to be different because different microphone, I'm in a different area, and clearly I didn't clean this place up after I was in here last, so bugger. But I got this. Now, hopefully I would have shown a better video before, but I'll try to get a closer look. See how that's all broken up? Yeah, I'm not happy about it. But that's how it was in the bin. So I need to replace that. It's really buggered up. Wow. Now to replace it, I got myself this thing. To start off with, I'm going to cut this off. Now I did try to find one of these older ones, but at the time of looking I couldn't find one. So what I'll be doing is using this as a reference to say that there's 2 wires in here, brown and black. So brown goes to the center terminal and the black goes to where the ground is. Good. Now this comes out. First thing I'll do is strip back a bit of cable. So I will say about here. Now I should have some wire strippers somewhere. So from about there. There we go. And take off a little bit more. Now, here's a question. Can I do that again? Almost. Good. Now I've got to get rid of that. go. So now those two wires should fit comfortably in there like that. So I'm going to pop this up. And where's my helping hands? Alright. So that was embarrassing. Found them. Man, I've got to go through this place. It's horrible in here. Whoops. Alright, so I got my exhaust fan on. I've got a mask on. I should be fine. And I've got the wrong tip on. Whoops. Ooh, ow, that is hot. It's melting right through that bag. Alright, so I've got to let that one cool off for a while. Ow! Whew. Well, with that done, I'm going to turn my soldering iron on again. Alright, so that's at 360. I'm going to change that to 340. I don't remember if it's Fahrenheit or Celsius. I don't care. Oh, that's definitely not coming off. So right now I'm just trying to apply a little bit of solder to the tips of these wires, and as you can see I can't keep my hand straight. Doo-doo-doo. Alright, so 340 is definitely not the temperature for this. let's try 360. That's a bit better. And the second one. So the wires are a little bit split. Yeah. Go. Now if I just put a little bit on here. That looks better. Now upside down. Alright, so flip it back up, brown goes to the top, whoops. I think I'll try to do the black one first. A little bit of fresh solder. Pull that back just a little bit. See if I can get it in there nice and good. That looks better. Now just let that solder solidify. Warm it up again. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, she did a better job on that this time. Sweet. I've wired these sort of things up, headphone jacks up before, and I've always had problems doing these because there's always so much heat. Now, I need some tweezers. Clean. Little bit of wick. Alright, that's definitely not going to work. I need to take this one down just a smidge. That should do it. Some fresh solder. Alright, so that's a little bit more exposed than what I would like it, however, that should work. So now I just need to push this forward a little, duck that underneath. Now, multimeter. So what I should expect is a short. Yep, that's working. And I'm not getting one. Alright, so something's definitely going on there, but I'm not sure exactly. Oh well, the only thing I can do is try it out. See if it works. Whoops. That plastic's going to tick me off for a long time. So I just need to let that cool down. I've already turned the soldering station off, so yeah. Okay. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh. This should be on there. Every single bloody time. You know, this thread, I'll probably have to make this a separate video. So, you go on first, you go on second, so brown at the top, black at the bottom. I'm gonna have to redo this. Alright, so cutters. Alright. One's in a second time. Let's try to go for the one on the top. Now. Alright, so that's my problem. It keeps slipping through that. So just twist it up a little. How'd I do? Yeah, that's going to hold. Now I am going to cut that little wire that's sticking up. Don't want this thing shorten out. So let's try this again. Oh, what do you know? Okay, now it works. Oh, bad on me. Well, at least I screwed that. If it wasn't for me not putting this on properly, this thing wouldn't have been working properly. So, yeah, that's great. Now the issue is, I had no idea how this would function because when I got it, that was like that. Which just totally sucks. So I'm going to put this back on again. Turn you off. Smother you with some solder. So hopefully you don't rust. Not for a very long time. There we go. So now I can turn that off for good. Close this down. Push that in. Lower it a little more. I always hate this bit. There we go. Close it in just a little bit more. Shimmy some of that off. Yeah. So those two wires aren't touching, that's what I'm caring about. Those are up. Oh, I left that on. Alright. Now that should be done. And I gotta be careful because I gotta clean this cable, and I've got some of these. Now I had these for a long, geez, I mean, how long have these been sitting here? Anyway, they're not gone all moist. They haven't dried out on me, so they're still moist. But I got to be careful because the glove's opening up, and I don't want to get this stuff on my skin. I mean, it might be like medical safe, but this stuff doesn't react well with my skin. Well, if you use too much isopropyl alcohol on your skin, it tends to cause it to dry out. And in my case, crack and then bleed. So dermatitis is not something fun. So be careful, even with the medical grade stuff. Just because it's medical grade doesn't mean it's safe to use. I wish I could buy some more of that stuff, but I can't find it for sale. Oh, the shop I usually bought it at is closed down, so, you know. Well, anyway, that's this video. Okay, so now that 30 minutes of waste of time is done and dusted, we've got the foot pedal. It's plugged into the back, and I am going to use it. So two methods that I looked at doing this is you can just simply rest the booklet on there, or you can hold it down and staple, and you effectively get them in the middle. Now you can also get a mod for this which will have little hoops that you can then put into a folder, which makes it more useful. So that's not good. Ooh, that's definitely not good. Something burnt. Ooh, something electronic's been fried in this thing now. Shit. So you've got a screw here, and then you've got one here. And those are the two that I'm going to remove to open up the case. And find out why this thing caught fire. So this is a solenoid. This is what drives the staple to come down. So you've got a bit of plastic in there. That then pushes this down and staple. So that looks like it's still intact. And the smoke's coming from inside. This feet are going to have to come off. So yeah, this is a bit of work. Man, this thing's heavy. So I suppose the main issue is that this thing's got mains voltage running through it. So I don't know how much energy is required to initiate that coil to, well, trigger, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? Something clearly burnt, which is definitely not healthy, and you can see on the side of this thing's got a giant ass crack in it. All right, so how do I get in this thing? Probably not the best way to do it, but that's only holding the screw in place. So there's going to be some electronics in here. So I'm going to try this again. No. All right. I'm just going to grab something. All right, I'm back, and I got a little wrench. It's not moving, I'm just wearing it down. Okay, so that's not how you get that out. What happens when I remove the solenoid? You can't. It's really held in there tight. Oh, there we go. So that's the solenoid out. It's the electronics that I need to get into. So what about the earth wire? Oh, and yes, I have already unplugged this, so there's no chance of an electric shock at the moment, I think, and I hope. Alright, so I'm not too particularly happy how that's been screwed on, but okay. See, it's in there I need to get into, and I'm having trouble. So how do these electronics come out? of string on that. So I'm removing what holds the mains in place. Oh, they're thick screws. How long? Sorry, long. Man, after all the effort I went through. Probably going to find something in here that's just going to... Alright, so that's off. And that's out. Oh, got movement. Got more movement. Is there anything pulling? Not that I can tell. Okay, so it looks like this pulls out, but I need to get rid of that. So I have to pause the video again for a second. All right, I'm back. So what I've got is one of these multi-tool kits. I've had for a long time, and I've got no idea what that bit is. So to try and remove this, which is where the foot pedal plugs into, that's definitely not going to fit. Is this one going to fit? Nope. All right, so that's definitely not going to work. I don't know how to get that off. To get that out, I'm going to have to... Yep. That's going to have to get unplugged. All right. So somehow I've got to loosen that. So that does pull out like that. But I've got to loosen that. Pliers aren't exactly the best way, but now I'm really cutting that up. I'm not happy with that. I know I don't have the tool for it. I know what type of tool I'm looking for. Okay, it's out. That's all I have to worry about for now. So. Wow, how on earth is this put in here? Yeesh. All right, so that's out. Okay. Uh-oh. All right, so I got that. So there's the spring. I believe that that is going to hold the... So I don't want to lose that spring. Oh man, things are falling off all over the place. All right, so I've got to remove that spring, which I will do with my finger. And then just try to open this up. So the wires that go through here are going to have to come out like so. The dial just popped out, so that does the pressure, which I probably should have had set to 0. Oh, that's what went. The capacitor. I remember hearing about these online. Yeah. Check it out. It's completely gone. Hang on, you can't see it on that end. There it is. Little bugger there. Can I zoom in on it? Wow. So that's what's gone boom. It's a filter capacitor. Wow. 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 A mains filter capacitor. It's like, oh wow. Okay, I'm going to need to find a replacement for that, but that would explain the magic smoke being released. I don't know if you can see it properly in this video, but it's just gone everywhere. Although that looks like more glue to hold everything in place. So yeah, I'm bit surprised. I didn't think I'd get this sort of far inside, but turns out I did. So where's the dial? Here it is. So if the dial sits here, so what's the encoder for it? Oh, it's a pot. Okay. So it's this pot here that tells you, oh, that's good. So yeah, that dictates how much force is put on the, ooh, I think I'm going to post this to EEV blog. Get some advice about pulling that out and putting in a new one. Okay, so magic smoke. I'm just going to put this aside for now, and I'm going to give a final bit of detail on this video. Now, I bought these, which I thought these were going to be compatible, since this stapler requires 66 and then 2 different sets of numbers. So if you look in here, 66-6 or 8, 628. So these are 66-8. Now you'd think these would be compatible, they'd work, but no. You have to go and spend your money and buy a specific set of staples. These are the only ones I found that would work. So if you want to save money by buying these for that thing, you're out of luck. Anyway, with that, I am done with this video. I'm going to try to box everything up, make sure I don't lose it, and hopefully post a repair on this later. For now, yibbity yibbita.